The Color Out of Space by H.P. Lovecraft. This is probably one of his most notable works, next to, say, Call of Cthulhu, Shadow Out of Time, and At the Mountains of Madness. And it's a really neat science fiction horror story of the idea of this parasitic ethereal life form that inhabits a meteorite that absorbs itself into the ground and feeds off this unsuspecting normal farm family. And you can see throughout reading it, you can feel the slow descent into madness because of this miasma in the air. Because when the meteor crashes into the ground, throughout time, it melts. It just fades away. It just into the ground, and it gets itself into the well water, and it's this parasitic organism. It kind of reminds me of a Star Trek episode, or a Star Trek type alien. It's very that type of energy, alien of pure energy idea. That's something that is hard to gauge. And it also reminds me a little bit of Spider-Man with the whole symbiote idea, but with that it's reciprocal. There's none of that here. With the symbiote, at least the symbiote wants to feed off of a person's negative emotions, and it gives the person strength, superhuman abilities, and all that stuff. But it does have its own kind of level of insidiousness, but not to the degree of this. This thing is just pure hunger. It's very kind of the same idea of, like, say, Galactus or Darth Nullis, or I'm trying to think here, some other type of being that feeds off feeds off other beings and is just destructive. With Nullis in Star Wars Knights of the Republic 2, geek time, and he was just this thing of power of and just absorbing all Force beings and just consumption. Very much like Unicron. There's another one. His main destruction. I think that's also for survival too, for energy, because I guess it would take a lot of energon to sustain such a being. And with Galactus, he also too has to. For necessity, he has to eat planets to sustain his energy as well. But it's not on that grand scale of any of those characters. This thing is like a force of nature. I'm using that term a lot, force of nature. That also has become synonymous with the Punisher as well, I guess. But instead of that, we're here to talk about Lovecraft and his interesting dynamics and fun stuff. But in here, you really do get the sense of the blasted heath. That term's used again. Once again, Lovecraft's wordsmithery has always laid a hook into my brain, and almost like a person with Tourette's, I get hooked onto one word, and it just kind of resonates in my mind and incubates, and it fascinates me. There's just some certain sounds and certain combinations of words that's just straight out aesthetically pleasing to me. But over that, it's an interesting tale, and it does deal with madness, because this thing is sucking your life force energy, essentially your soul, and the mother of the farm family goes insane first and rots away into a illuminated zombie type dry husk of a being, and the other people, and the land is cursed from that point forward. But at the end of the book, there was flashes of lightning coming out of the ground, and suggesting and saying, well, he got his fill, and he's moving on to another place to feast upon. So it's with a lot of Lovecraft tales, there's rarely a happy ending. It's always kind of well, we survived. That in itself is kind of a victory, or not. You broke even, and that's kind of like life sometimes. But it's always the roll of dice. I enjoyed it. Check it out. A Color Out of Space by H.P. Lovecraft. See ya.